This on computer. We're recording.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Hi. And it's been a while because, you've been doing your thing and I've been doing my thing, and you went on a trip and I went on a trip. So we haven't even really spoken to each other. I haven't filled you in on all my scoops, and I might be behind on some of your scoops, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. Yeah. But today.
Yes, today we're going to be channeling. Well, I'm going to be channeling and you're going to be interviewing some fairies and maybe other elementals.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever comes up will ask questions about all that stuff. So is Lily here?
Oh, Lily Clover?
Yeah, of course we're going to talk to Lily Clover. Get your cute little fairy ass down here.
Okay, yeah. So first off, you wanted to know if I wanted to talk about this while recording.
Yeah, how are you doing? What's going on with this particular thing?
I want to do a whole different video about it, but I haven't been channeling a lot. I'm going to be taking a break from readings for however long I feel I need to, because sometimes once a year I always go down that month or 2 month long break of nothing. And it's around that time again. I don't know. My heart hasn't been into it. And that's mainly why, I've been happy that you've been busy and we haven't done any Stardust videos, is because I'm just not into it right now. And it's not like I don't really want to do this either. I'm not all that confident in my channeling right now, because when you're going through and working through things, it makes it hard to hear. So I had to really meditate today, longer than I usually have to, because I had to really shove aside my ego more so than I usually have to.
And does that ego consist of lack of confidence? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, just because I can feel the difference. And I'm I'm not at my best today. But also when I say ego, some people think oh, she's just a negative Nancy, she's just being a negative person. No, it's not about negativity. I'm changing as a person and I'm growing, and that stuff can really alter your channeling, especially when you're going through the thick of it, when you're changing your perspective, your reality. And I'm going through that. So it's been a ride for a while.
It's funny, in my video I did this morning, I was talking about the ride, roller coasters, and specifically it is a ride, isn't it?
It is. And I've been enjoying completely shutting down. And by shutting down, I mean not channeling, doing anything. And I've just been my version of partying is staying at my house, and we have so many roommates now. We have 10 people in this fucking house, which is
crazy.
Great, because it makes the cost of living, my bills are less than $100 now, because we split it 10 ways. So it's great. But I've been partying with them. It's a little party house. We don't invite extra people over. It's just
no. You're in your own little commune. I've seen pictures of you guys out gardening and shit. I'm like, Josh is living the dream, man.
Yeah, we got our own garden. We're gonna get chickens and rabbits. And you know what's so ironic? One of my favorite roommates. All of them are favorite, honestly, but one of them, Jasmine. She's not who you she does not fit into any kind of label or stereotype. So
no box for that girl, huh?
She's a veteran and was in combat and stuff, and she doesn't talk about that. She doesn't care that anyone knows that she is a vet or not. Some people take some great pride in it. She doesn't give a shit. And so she doesn't brag about it in any kind of way. She doesn't take advantage of the military discounts or anything. It's just that was a part of my life, and now it's over. And she was in it for 12 years, so it wasn't.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, but anyway, that's her own personal story. But that's what I love about her, is that some people had this idea of what a veteran looks like and behaves, and how they're super proud of their country. She's just not that at all. She doesn't give a flying fuck. And then at the same time, she's vegan, but she doesn't care really about she's not vegan because she cares about animals. She just thinks it's gross. Eating meat's gross.
Right.
And like we're talking about with the rabbits, we're gonna have rabbits to eat them later, and
Yeah, right. I can't see any of you eating any of the pet bunnies. Give me a break.
because I have before we used to have on our land, our tribal land, we used to have bunnies that we would take, but
I don't
bunny
see
tastes
it.
good if it's cooked right. Anyway, um, but she has no issue with killing the bunnies. Like she'll be like, "I'll fucking kill it. I don't care," and she's like vegan, so she doesn't even
I
fit.
just won't eat it.
Yeah, she's like, I'll fucking help you kill it. I don't care. Like, I love her for that. Like, I'm
I will rip its pelt off and make you a coat,
right,
but I ain't eating it.
but I'm not eating it. It's fucking gross. But I'll help you kill it. I don't care. You
Yeah.
know, she's
Sarah, go.
she's
Sorry.
great, and her wife's totally different. Her wife's vegan because she just can't stand the taste. She thinks it's gross, but she also loves animals. She's like, I can't imagine you killing an animal. And here's her wife who's also vegan. It's like, fuck it, I'll fucking kill it. I don't give a shit.
Sarah will be like, watch, I'm gonna eat a tiny piece of chicken. And I'm like, yay! Because it's gross to her. She's not, pro animal either. She just can't handle the texture of meat.
Yeah, no, I understand with
That'd
the
be so
tendon
sad.
sometimes, and it's gross
I
sometimes.
know, I know.
It's gross. But anyway, that's my whole spiel about how much I love my roommate because she doesn't fit to any of the boxes you would think. You think,
I
like,
like
oh,
that.
she's a veteran, so you think she's this way, but then she's totally opposite. And then you say that she's vegan.
I like anomalies. She's an
Yeah,
outlier.
she's an outlier. I love her. Anyway, enough about her. I'm sure she doesn't like me putting her on blast on YouTube. All right.
Talked all our shit about her. Just kidding.
Anyway, so back to fairies.
Okay, back to the fairies.
My fucking okay. Let's give me a second.
So you're feeling uncomfortable with your channeling, but we're gonna get through it anyway. We're gonna
Well,
just,
yeah, they're helping me a lot. I feel
and
them.
it's such a shiny and positive and sweet kind of energy, I'm assuming, to
It is.
channel. We're not doing scary monsters or anything. So
Yeah. So it's not like my channeling is completely off. It's just not 100%. I'm
Mhm.
operating at maybe 80% capacity right now, like 80%.
Did you check your dial?
Yeah, I checked my dial. I'm about at 80% right now. I'm usually at like 95.
Okay. Uh-oh. I'll take it all with grains of salt. I got it.
So when I was meditating, they have these colors. They come to me in colors. They come to
Oh,
anybody
beautiful.
differently, but that's just how I perceive them as colors. And I'm seeing pink, and they're bright pink, bright green.
Heart colors. And who did you like set an intention? Because I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but in my brain, I'm gonna talk to the ones that live in my front
I
yard.
put in that intent too.
Okay.
Actually saw your front yard while I was meditating, trying to look at it, get the feel for it. So they're here, but there's also just general fairies just here.
Okay.
Anyway.
God, that's so cool.
To whomever you want to speak with, they're very giggly and chatty.
Oh.
So
Well, okay, I'll just start in and hi fairies. Hi.
they're like, hi. They're really cute.
Okay, so I don't know anything about it. I am Mrs. Doubt Fairy. So I'm just going to ask my own questions. This is one of the reasons that I like to live in my bubble is because I have no external influences and I'm completely clueless. I'm a smart enough girl, but I don't know anything, if that makes sense. So fairies, I don't know what you are. Are you like an incarnated physical being? Are you an energy? Or what are you?
They said we're both.
Ooh.
She says you're both too. I don't know who she is. I
Okay.
think they're all
Maybe.
talking. It doesn't matter who it is.
Okay.
Your energy, but in a physical form in the third dimension.
Okay.
We are an energy in our physical form in our own dimension. So we wouldn't show up in yours. You may see us from time to time. Some people catch us on camera, with lights or little orbs. Some of us may see us physically every once in a while because there are those anomalies. Every once in a while where they're talking about it like it's the veil kind of thing.
Right.
Type of thing. So it's just those perfect moments where you see us or we show ourselves on purpose. But we're all on the same plane of existence, just in another dimension.
Do you live in the same dimension as like our friend Bigfoot, maybe?
She's saying yes, you could think of it like that.
Okay. Okay.
So like there's those anomalies you would see Bigfoot, but it's not always that you see it.
Right. And if we did see you, what do you look like? Do you have like, are you just a blob of energy, a light, or do you have like a
So they have a physical
body?
body. Um, she says not all of us are tiny, and that's what I found interesting with this one. And I really meditated on that because I'm like, I always see them as these tiny little things with wings, you know?
Right. They're like little dragonflies.
Right. She says that's cute, but that's not always the truth. Where some of us are
Okay.
larger. She says people sized. So those are less common, but we come in different various sizes. We can be really small, minuscule, she says, or we
Uh-huh.
can be as big as your hand, or we can be like half the size of your body. Um,
Interesting. Do you look like people? Are you humanish?
somewhat, but she's like, you want to see what I look like? She's really
Yeah,
excited.
show her, show her.
Oh my God. She's like, okay, don't get scared. Let me take a deep breath because I want to make sure I see it right. She's saying, you will. You're already second guessing yourself.
It's that 80% thing.
She's saying, she's joking. She says, every time you feel like you have to pause, it goes down 75%. You got me there. She's saying, shut up and just look.
She's
See, I
bossy.
feel like they're sassy a little bit. She says, you don't even know. You don't even know. Yeah, I'm looking. She's like, are you paying attention? So their eyes kind of remind me, I'm just going off of this filter of like aliens, where they
Okay.
have that. She's like, don't call me an alien. There's like ellipsoidal shaped, but there's a little bit of a dip at the top on the top eyelid.
Okay. Okay.
And she's like, ooh, perfect. And then it's like a solid color. And she's like, can I, when I channel, when I try to do like clairvoyance, I don't always see color. So let me tap into the energy of what her color is.
God, that's so interesting to me,
You know,
H.
green. And she's like different shades of green, like her whole body like is a green color. And there's like this green hue around her. And she says that's my energy. In our dimension, you can see it a lot better, like your someone's aura, their
Beautiful.
energetic body. Um, and it's like all of her is like this different shade of green. She said not all of us will stay this color. Um, do you change colors? She says sometimes, depending on our moods. It's interesting.
She's a mood ring. That is interesting.
She says we're all mood rings.
I guess that's true. We just don't
She said, I'm
see it on
green today.
ourselves
I
as
could be
well.
blue tomorrow,
Okay.
but I'm not going to be blue.
I want to know you're talking to one in particular. Let's meet her in particular. Do you have a name? Can we call you something?
She's going around this. She's like flying around. She's not telling me a name. Call me what you want.
We'll call her Infinity because she's flying around like this.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Okay, Infinity.
She's small. She's smaller. She's about the size of my hand, maybe a little bigger.
Wow. And where do you live? Are
In
you?
your garden.
You're my fairy? Well, I don't mean mine, but
She says, I'll be yours.
really? Okay, I want to talk about that then. Do you, because
We
humans like to make
gravitate. Hold on, she's already answering. She says, we
okay.
gravitate towards the places where we feel most at home. And that's where someone cares and tends to their garden because we're really attached to Earth. She said that we're all about the health of the planet. She says people who have green thumbs. She said she's slowed down because she's like, I'm going too fast. Oops. She said green thumbed people usually have been fairies before, and they bring that skill into this incarnation to help with your dimension's grasp with Earth's health, or
Okay.
helping to feed and care for your planet, therefore your species. She didn't say
Okay.
species, but that's my word for it. And she said, but sometimes we aid you too when you're gardening.
Okay.
We give you the green thumb in that time.
Huh.
So if you're having trouble with a plant or you feel like everything you touch dies, ask us for help.
Okay.
We'll come in and we'll help you. Oftentimes it's Plants are very delicate. And that's interesting. She's saying sometimes the plant just doesn't like you.
Oh, uh-oh.
Um,
I actually killed a damn rose bush in my garden. I hated that rose bush. It was full of thorns. We didn't do anything to it, and it just died. And my husband said, "You killed it because you hated it." I think I did.
yeah, she's saying your husband's right. He didn't. The rose bush didn't want to be around you either.
Right.
But it's okay. The bush will live on, and it's
Okay.
okay. So don't feel too bad. Everything gets
Okay.
recycled. So even
Okay.
the bodies will recycle into the earth if done properly. She said. So meaning the people in the caskets aren't right. They aren't contributing to
Okay.
recycling. Um,
Interesting.
so what else did you want to add? She's saying that not always is it like people, the plant not liking the person, the people.
Oh, that's so
Sometimes
trippy.
they're nitpicky. They have their own personalities. Your plants do. They have their own likes and dislikes. So there's those that want a specific kind of soil. So what may work for one plant may not work for the other, even though they're both maybe the same type of rose, like they're both roses. They may not go well in the same kind of soil. She's saying that this
Wow, because
like
they have
that.
personalities?
Yeah, she's saying
Wow.
typically with roses, they all want the same soil. That's just an example.
Okay.
Um, of how, like, say, she's saying that this happens sometimes where people say, oh, I've grown this type of plant before and I've never had a problem, but now I'm having a problem with this new one I just got. It's the same type. What am I doing differently? Um, maybe change up the soil, change
Uh-huh.
up the watering habits.
Okay.
Um, plants like to feel pretty too. Um, she's like, so take good care of them, make sure they're groomed and make sure
Oh.
they feel pretty and lush. Add some rocks to the planters to make them feel pretty. Um,
Do you guys appreciate, or not you guys, do the plants appreciate like having a crystal plopped in there? Is that the same
yes,
thing as a rock?
absolutely. They feel the energy of it too. Plants are life. They're just like you and me. She's
Okay.
saying they're just a different type of life, a different form. They communicate differently. They breathe and live differently, but they're still alive. Um, and they're
Is
just as important.
is that your main focus as a fairy is plants and growing things from earth?
She
Is
says,
that
you're making it sound like that's our soul mission, which I guess if you want to think of it like that, it is.
huh?
But that's just who we are. It's become fully in like engrossed into their society. Um, she's saying that's just how we've always lived. It's who
Okay.
we are. We don't think about it. We don't think about, okay, I have to get up. I have to take care of these plants. That's my mission. It's more like that's just how we live.
That's what they do. Okay.
Um,
Do you ever act as guides to humans? Because we like to make it all
sometimes
about us.
because it's a human habit, but that's okay. You guys are figuring yourselves out. That's why it's all
Mhm.
about you.
Right.
Um, she says, yes, some of us do. Like I said, when you've asked for help from us, some of us are really, because we're really grounded, we're good about bringing joy, fulfillment, healing the inner child, because we're all about embracing our inner child, almost to the point that you could see it as a fault because we're always playing, even when it's mischievous. So they can be little mischievous little punks, these
And
guys.
sassy.
Sassy. She's like, don't call me a punk. I'll call you a punk. Just watch your plant later. Oh, I just got threatened by a fairy.
Holy cow. Uh-oh. She's going to come at you with her teeny tiny dagger.
Yeah.
Her thorn. So, I had a reading not too long ago, and I was encouraged to meditate in my grass and call on the elementals, the fairies and the gnomes. And I have been doing that. Have you come and met me
Yes,
in my meditations?
absolutely. We want to
Oh,
interact with you. We like to interact with humans that are open to us. Um, I'm
or,
thinking about the people who build houses for them, the little mini houses, because
yes.
those are adorable. We don't really use them like you think we do, but we like to play around them. We like to play in them.
Okay, I have,
Okay, go for it.
because there's so much traffic around, like foot traffic, because we're in quarantine, a lot of people walking. And so I've always had like the most boring house on the block, but all of a sudden the parents will walk by and say, this is your favorite house, because I do have these little fairy things out there. So I get a lot of attention. Um,
They're fun. They're fun. They're fun playgrounds for them.
how cute. And okay, so we're talking to a fairy, but there are other elementals. What about a gnome? Is that like a real thing or is that just a statue in my garden?
Is it? She's saying it's not just a statue in your garden, it's a real thing. Although that one is just a statue in your
Right. Right.
She said the gnomes came from somewhere. The mythical creature derived
Uh-huh.
from somewhere. Um, she says that's not my department. She's funny. Can we bring in a gnome? I always blame everything on gnomes when
Do
like
you?
something goes missing or something breaks and we don't know how it happened or where it went. I'm like, the fucking gnomes. They did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I've seen them in the cartoons. Sometimes they're nasty little buggers. I want to meet a nice gnome.
They're okay, the energy I get from them, and this is mostly me going off of what I kind of know.
Okay. Which you kind of gnome.
More like where they came from is more like Norwegian, like, in Europe, up in those
Okay.
Scandinavian areas, like, and they're real people. They're no different like than elves and trolls.
They're real people. They're no different than elves and trolls. I forget you're talking to Mrs. Doubtfairy here.
Well, no, the energy of them, they kind of feels like along the same,
I know,
not
but
the same thing, but it's
oh,
they're in
so
that same area. Gnomes don't look like how they look on the statues. Um, can you show me a little more? Okay, they are plump. At least this guy is. I can't say for all of them that they're plump. Um, they don't look as cute as you would want them to look on the statues. Kind of reminds me of a rock. Like if a rock were to look like half rock, half human kind of thing. He's very
blocky, rocky. That's so
like
interesting.
rugged looking.
Okay. Hi, Gnome. Where do
Why?
you live, Mr. Gnome?
He's he's so short. Like they're very like short. Um, he's pointing and he's showing me this image of this grassy hills. He lives in the ground in the hills. He lives
Okay.
underneath these hills.
So are they like Mr. Gnome? Are you like Miss Green Fairy in Miss Infinity in that you are a physical being but not in our dimension?
He's going like this. He's not really talking. He's just
Interesting.
pointing and that's odd.
Huh. Okay. And God, I was going to ask him if he has anything to say, but clearly he doesn't. He's just pointing and nodding.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, that's how
what
he wants to communicate.
okay, so I'll ask you, Heather, what kind of energy is he giving off? Does he feel like he's helpful? Does he feel like he just minds his own business? What does he feel like?
He feels like a worker bee, kind of
Hmm.
like, don't take it literally, but it feels like a miner, like he mines things. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if that's something they do or what they're known for. I don't know anything about gnomes other than I blame them for taking my socks. Um,
Eric the gnome.
yeah. And that's what he feels like. He feels like an industrial, like he's a working man. Um, real
Okay.
like simple, not in stupid, but simple as in that's just lives a simple life like that.
Okay. Okay.
Keeps to himself. Every once in a while, the energy I get from him. Hope he doesn't mind. I'm reading his energy. Some people mind when I do that. um, is that he'll come across a human every once in a while he's working. So I don't know if that means he's in the same dimension as us. Where he shook his head yes to that
Oh,
question.
okay.
So that's it. That's all I get from him.
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
he's walking away. He's going back into his hole.
Probably just like freezes when he sees a human and gets, mistaken for a rock. There you go. Let's
You wouldn't physically see him unless the few anomalies that sometimes
okay.
you see them.
Okay. Hmm. So let's talk to Lily Clover.
Oh yeah, Lily. She's so cute. So for people that don't know the story, Lily Clover is this fairy, and she's this guide of mine that helps me with like feeling joy. And um and I found out that she was a fairy years later, but when I was in high school and I was really depressed, I was going through a really hard time because, you know, being a teenager, you're angsty all the time. But I
Angsty,
was
yeah.
very suicidal. And my job every day was to go walk to the mailbox, which was around the block from where we lived, and go pick up the mail. And every day I would get a letter from some place, I don't know from where, it's just random places. And the name would be to Lily Clover. And you know, it was like this mystery, and it was something I always looked forward to opening, just because I'm like, I don't know whose mail this is, and we're the only person that's ever lived in that house because
Uh-huh.
we were the ones that built it. So it's like a new house on a new property, so it doesn't make sense that anyone else named Lily Clover would be getting mail there. um she's giggling.
I've
And
never
like,
heard this story.
it would just be random letters like, dear Lily, you, congratulations, you got into blah blah blah, and I'm always so happy for this other person. And Lily Clover, like, you're doing great, girl, keep going. And like, you know, it's just information about joining some kind of school or whatever. Could just be spam, but whatever it was, it made me look forward to getting the mail for
Uh-huh.
Clover. I thought the name was so weird. Anyway, but years later, I'm like, you know, in college now, and I had a reading, and somebody said, there's a fairy here, and she's talking about how her name's Lily, and she started showing me a clover, and she said that she was always with you in high school, helping you through it. And now I'm like, holy shit, Lily Clover, you
That's
know?
beautiful. How could you not have ever told me this story?
I
That's
don't
so
know.
awesome.
So yeah, she said that she helps me with my happiness when I really need it. She says, you haven't been needing it lately, so I haven't been around too much. She said, although I miss you, so I still come around, but she says, I've been hanging around your garden a lot, and because I like to be around you. It feels like she feels motherly towards me.
Oh.
She's really sweet. It's gonna make
And
me.
Lily, what is it that you do? Like, how would a fairy go about helping somebody feel joy? Besides, you know, your magical letters, what do you do?
She said it precisely that. We would try any avenue we can take.
Okay.
She said, I just felt a special kinship to her when she first moved into that place. It's when, was that when we first met? No. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm trying to listen to her energy. I'm sorry.
Love that.
She's showing me an image of when I'm a kid and we're in this blue rental house that we used to live in. And I would play outside in the backyard because it was like such a huge backyard. And there was all these old toys left behind by like the previous owners because it was a rental. So there was like people came and went and would leave behind junk they don't want to take with them. There were spiders everywhere. But it was so funny is I was always so scared of bees and ants and spiders. But it seemed like they would never touch me when I was out there. They would go after my sister Brittany, which I found fucking hilarious. Like she would be screaming the whole time and I'd just be laughing.
She's the best repellent. Have your
Yeah.
sister standing next to you.
Yeah.
I'm like that with my kids. They all go for them and leave me alone.
But she's saying she was there. She's been around the house and she really liked me when she was there because I always showed a special type of kindness that most humans forget. And I had my very first garden back there, and I was able to grow watermelons for the first time, and I grew tomatoes, and I was like, oh my God, I can do this. I was like 7 years old when I started doing this. But she said she followed me, and she went dormant for a while. She mostly liked that area she was in.
Okay.
She said, but she developed that special kinship she was saying earlier when we moved into this newer house. And I was really depressed all the time. And so she like came floating back, she said, and stuck with me. And now she just sticks with me wherever I go. Like not that she's always tagging along with everything. She like comes and goes and checks on me. And if she likes where I'm at in that current situation, she'll stay around, you know? So she says she likes the garden. She likes Josh because he's really into the environment. She likes that about him. And she said that she likes to think she had a hand in that, like me finding that characteristic in somebody, you know.
Oh.
Um, so what other things, I have a question. So not just you, but what are some other things other than the letters with pixies, fairies do? I mean, aren't they like the same thing?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What other things would you do to help with happiness for somebody? She's like flutter around mostly. We'll make funny occasions come up, like something silly will happen, like knocking over something on accident. You know, it's. She said tiny accidents always make people laugh. You know. Um, she says mostly when we're around you, our energy just naturally uplifts you. So we try to swarm you. So that's what they were doing earlier when I was trying to meditate, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this today. They're like swarmed me, and were lifting me up. So they're saying that's mostly how we do it. But sometimes we'll do physical interaction. Some people who are really in tune with us can feel us, can talk to us. They'll record us on their little hip cameras.
Yeah. And is that what an orb? Is it an orb or other
Because we may show
things?
up as an orb, we may show up as a color that flies by.
Okay.
Mostly we try to show up as a color to differentiate ourselves from others, like other orbs that could be there.
I'm
That
gonna
could be
ask if they'll like fly in our video right for the remainder. If any fairies want to make a little color blob, we're inviting it.
Yeah, they're saying that. Whoop, I keep touching my mic. They're saying that the coloring, the lighting may not be right for it.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay. Well, I have a. Well, maybe Lily. Maybe Lily can answer this. If not, I don't know. Maybe you can feel into it. But I'm curious about Heather. You remember when you talked to my chakras, and one of my chakras. Do you remember that? Was my chakra a fairy, or did it just have like a fairy energy? Remember? Huh?
you cut out.
Oh fuck.
I heard the question though. I think you're asking if the chakra was a fairy or if it just. Um, someone's giggling. Like when they giggle, they put their hands in their mouth. They're like hee hee hee. They're so cute. Sometimes when they're laughing, they like to flutter around a lot more when they're laughing.
Infinity.
But they're saying that your chakra can't be a fairy. Your chakra
Okay.
can't be a fairy.
Okay.
That's why they were laughing and found it silly. So what was I forgot what I channeled though for you with that. Were you just
Me
asking?
too. Can you hear me now or not yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it just had like a fairy energy to it, like light and fluttery. Then I don't know.
She's
Maybe it's
saying
because
it
I
could
got.
be one. Hold on. They're saying that it could be that that's where we do a lot of work with you.
Oh.
She said, but that's not your case. There's just talking broad spectrum. If anybody's ever been told that answer, or they feel
Okay.
a lot of like, she's saying it could be several things. That's where you feel us the most is in that chakra.
Okay.
That's where we're healing the most for you. Um, or she's saying that that's everybody. I don't know who this is. It's somebody different saying, I like to think every human has a little fairy in them, a little bit of, fairiness in them. And to be a fairy is really to just, she's giving it to me in energy. She's going like this. She's like, you do so well with that.
Yeah. Go energy wise. Do that.
Hold on, give it to me again. It feels like almost like Dennis the Menace kind of energy, like mischievous, but they're so sweet and kind, but mischievous.
Right.
But they don't mean it in an evil way. It's like in a fun, pranky kind of way.
Uh-huh.
She's saying every human has a little fairy in them, that inner child that sometimes gets into trouble too, but loves to play and have fun and loves to love, and loves to be free.
I
And when you're
think I am a fairy. I think
yeah,
I'm a fairy.
yeah, she says some are more fairy-like than others. I like that. How much of a fairy am I? She's so bratty. She's like, not much at all. I have,
Heather Fairy, it's Carrie Fairy. That's so
yeah.
funny. Well, why are you? I mean, I'm just hearing this right now. Why are you choosing to heal? You guys are helping me heal. Fairies are.
She says,
Just,
no, I was talking broad spectrum.
oh,
Right.
okay, got it.
She says, no, we're not helping you heal. She said, although you being around our garden, it's your garden, but
No, it's
like,
they
no,
can have
it's
it.
our garden. Both of us. She meant ours, like you and hers. Um, she said being around that and us being around you during that time can be healing, but it's not like we're purposefully
Okay.
being around you for that purpose.
Okay. You know what I heard too in that same reading was that, and I'd never even thought about this, but the earth said that the earth really enjoys my energy and likes me to sit out there. And that made me so happy because I had no idea that I was making the earth feel good. But oh, look at you, I'm boring you. Just kidding. By
No,
just sitting out there loving on the earth loves that. That was very sweet to me.
the earth wants anyone who will pay attention to it. They're saying,
Mm.
not look, that's not an
Oh,
insult.
great. So I'm just another one. Chopped
No,
liver.
they said Earth really takes in they're saying Earth is alive. Earth is its own person. They're saying you want to
Right.
think of you only think as humans as things that encompass a soul. You're starting to think about animals encompassing that, and it's starting to slowly get into plants, but not everyone agrees with that. But plants and the earth itself is its own soul, and of course, Earth is gonna love it when you know
Honor it, love it.
honor it and love it, just like anyone else wants to be honored and loved.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So
And
there's
I do see like the earth as being alive because when I was a preschool teacher, like 25 years ago, I don't even know I was such a bitch, but I was. But the kids would rip out the grass. And I'd say, "Do you want me to pull your hair?" And they'd say no. And I go, "Then stop pulling the earth's hair." But to me, like the
I found
trees
that
and
funny.
everything, it's like growing things, so it's alive to me.
They're they were giggling to that giggle thing, hee hee hee, with their
I do that all the time.
they're they were saying something about how this is they want to apply it to everybody. Everyone can do this and
Okay.
honor and be part of our Earth, and Earth
Okay.
will love it. Um, but they especially, it's like Earth has its favorites. It's
Oh,
because it's of somebody who pays special attention to it. It has its own ego. That's what they're saying. Personality. They said personality, but I want to go with ego because it
okay.
has favorites. Earth has favorites, and you can become a favorite if you choose to pay a little more attention to it and give it some love.
Interesting. That's so cool. I'm going to go through some questions. They can keep talking,
Yeah,
but are you ready for some questions?
yeah.
Okay.
They're so overjoyed about the questions. They're like jumping up and down.
Really? Oh my God, they're so cute. Okay, so do you have like a favorite or is it like a personal preference of a particular plant or a particular rock or mineral in the soil? I don't know. Do you have a favorite?
They're like, we're all gonna talk at once. They all have their own answers. What do you? Who? Okay, one. It's
Infinity answer.
Infinity. Sorry, Lily.
Oh,
Infinity.
our Lily. That's the only two I know so far.
She's talking about the droopy plants. She likes plants that have long leaves that droop.
Hmm.
She likes to slide. Um,
We got to build slides for them. Oh my God.
she said it's fun. Not that I'm literally sliding. I just follow the droop, and it's like you're sliding.
Oh, that's so cute.
Um,
Make
she
a
said those are
playground.
my favorite. One of them, I don't know who this one is saying he likes thick bushes with the with leaves they can hide behind and play around and like kind of like an obstacle course, trying to, you know, not hit the branches and zip and zoom around them. One of them likes the soil when it's really soft and mushy. They like the little white. I don't know what these are. You know, when soil you get the little.
Yes.
They
Like,
like those. They sink their hands into it. It's like they melt into it. It's comfy. It's like a big soft pillow.
oh,
Um, Lily, what was your favorite? I'm sorry. She's showing me her carrying a rock, like a blue type of rock. I don't know. It's shiny.
beautiful.
Pebbles. She says she likes pebbles.
That's so cool. Okay, so somebody asked a question and I'm unfamiliar with this. Is there like a person that named Lilith that is like the queen or leader or something of the fairies? Sorry, I don't know who these people are. Is there a significant Lilith in your stories?
I don't know why, but my stomach just did not want to answer that.
Okay, well, let's move on then. Okay.
No, no, no,
Um,
I feel like it's like a cop out or something. Um, is there like a leader of you guys? Do you guys have some kind of hierarchy or something? So we do, but it's not as permanent and in place as humans are. Everyone's still created equal, they're saying, for the most part. It's not like when you're up in a different status, someone's better than you.
uh-huh.
Thing. That's where humans kind of lose it a little bit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is there a Lilith that is a leader over you? She's saying there is a Lilith that is like one of those higher ups, but it's not the leader over all of us.
Okay, okay.
Lead an entire people and force us to follow under you. But there is, they're saying Lilith is a very common name for a fairy. So
Oh, okay.
it could be any, it could be, they're assuming you're talking about one of the Liliths that are more up there, but there's a lot.
Okay, well, I just wrote these down, so I don't know who it belongs to, but whoever wrote it, they'll be able to apply that to their question.
Okay.
Oh, I think if this was, yeah, Stacy. Do the gnomes help Stacy win the slot machine games? That's my question, not hers. Because I want a gnome.
I want to know. They only take my shit. Where they?
Right.
They give it to the thrift store and I don't know, get money for it to give to somebody else for the lottery. Do the gnomes help her win the lottery?
No, slots.
Slot machine. Sorry. I'm getting like it's not like the gnomes that are incarnated. It's more of they kind of feel like gnomes, but if it's like spirit kind of thing. And I think it's more because she calls them that, not that they're literally gnomes.
Okay.
There is somebody helping you. I want to dive into that energy a little bit more.
Yeah, because we want to have some money winning
masculine
energies.
It's so masculine, but it's not like muy macho masculine. It's a soft masculine. Mm-hmm. And I see 3 of them specifically, but there's a bunch of them, but there's 3 that really take up to the front next to her when she's playing something.
That's so funny. Do you know who I'm talking about?
She called them in. She asked like, come help me win this baby kind of thing. And they're like coming in to help,
so cool. She says it works.
It's more of like an in spirit thing. It's not really like the gnome we were talking to earlier.
Right. Okay. Since you are like incarnate beings in your other dimension, do you eat? Do you need nutrition?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. What do you like to eat?
I said they're showing me drinking water. They'll eat. It's not, they're saying to you may seem unphysical, like it's not a physical way of eating, but they take in the nutrients from plants, but you don't see them chewing on the leaves. It's like a different kind of way of taking in. It's like they eat like a plant does, like taking in photosynthesis kind of thing.
Okay, I was going to say osmosis.
Osmosis.
Know which word to use.
Photosynthesis. I don't know.
Some kind of issus.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Say, summer homeschooling. There's no such thing, so we're done with that. Okay, do you like to listen to or do you make your own music? Do you like music?
They love music. They like to listen to music. They like to play music. They have their own instruments. Like little flutes made out of plants.
Yes, I see like a little banjo made out of an acorn or walnut shell. Cat whiskers.
Yeah. Yeah, so they love to play music. They love to listen to music. They like more of like the organic, like natural sounding music.
Yeah.
Although they're saying it's a personal preference. Some of us will like hip hop because I was thinking like none of them are gonna like hip hop. They're like Some of us do.
Got some headbangers out there, I bet.
It's about the sound, the waves that it
Okay.
creates. So some of us are attracted to certain waves, sound waves, than others.
All right.
I want to find a fairy that's into heavy metal. We'll be best friends.
Okay. Oh, somebody wants to know if you guys have sex. How do you reproduce?
They're giggling. We do play. They call it play.
Oh my God, that's so cute. That's what Robert Burke said. He said that sex is adult play. And I'm like, he's right. That's what it is. I need some playtime.
And they're showing me how they do it. I said, do you mind? I don't mind. It's okay now.
Fairy porn.
Okay, thank you. At first it was innocent looking. It was like these two lights and they're swirling around each other like they're flying around it, like kind of like birds.
Okay.
You get up close, zoomed in, kind of like they zoomed in for me, and they're saying it's combining energy, it's combining our bodies. But we have sex. We have play. We have playtime. Play. One of their favorite things to do, other than play with the plants. They don't like meaning sex, but they're meaning like, other than, playing around in gardens, they like to play with each other. And it makes it almost feels like, not like they're constantly in orgies or anything, but it feels like sex is just as equally happening just as much as anything else is. Like it's.
So in other words, they're like M6. Just kidding.
Yeah. They're always having.
They're up there doing it all the time. So well, do you
and it's not unhealthy. They're saying it's fun. Humans have an unhealthy term to it, an unhealthy habit of how they see it.
Yes, working on that.
It's fun.
Do you reproduce? Are you like that? Do you get pregnant or
not like you not like we do? Like there's no pixie with it. Why do I keep saying pixie? Fairy with a big old belly. They're laughing. They're giggling unless they're fat,
Unless they're fat. Fat fairy.
How do you? It looks like it grows outside them, almost like an egg. I don't want to say an egg though, because that doesn't sound right. It's like she's saying how they like to talk about it like it's energy still. So
okay.
This is what they're saying exactly. It's when two energies form together to create a unique energy from the two partners. And that energy grows and becomes bigger. They're saying it's the same principle added to you guys. Two energies came together to create a new form of energy. So that's what they're saying exactly. So I'm trying to understand, like, how is it similar to us? But maybe it's not similar at all. Maybe that's as similar as it gets,
Oh, that kind of makes sense to me in a way. Just like a brand new energy of the mix of the mama and daddy energy. Yeah. That's so
when
sweet.
You mix, red and blue together,
That's right. That's right. Okay. What do you guys think about when you're hanging out in our gardens about our pets? Do you fear them? Do you play with them?
We'll play with them. Sometimes, not so much the aggressive ones when they, but most of the time we just stay away from them. Like if we don't want to play with them, we just stay away from them. It's not like we coexist really nicely. It's not, we coexist with birds and the worms and everything else.
Okay.
They're not a danger to us.
Okay. Okay, so I've gone, do you have hobbies? Do you guys have hobbies? Is there...
He said, well, playing.
Wink.
The other playing, the other sex, the other form of playing, being mischievous.
Okay.
For our hobbies. Pulling pranks, making people feel joy, making ourselves feel joy. Those, I would say, are hobbies. Caring for the planet.
God, you guys are so sweet. Okay, so since you are like physical, are you native to this planet? Are you on other planets?
Are you native to Earth? Yes. Do you know if there's other fairies on other planets? So there are, but they're like different looking.
Are they products of evolution and environment and culture as well, or like a human would be?
A little different than that, I feel. Which I
Okay.
disagree with, but what the fuck, just because of my fucking ego. I'm recognizing which is my ego and pushing it aside.
Good,
Um,
good. That's good practice. So how long have you been on Earth? How far? Because we were told that humans are kind of, we're like toddlers in our evolutionary phase. How long have you been here and where might you be?
they're talking about how you're toddlers, but you expect yourself to be adult already.
Well, that's a toddler for you.
Um, they said that we've been here for a while. Um, Probably just as long as, hold on. Can you say that again? Because that's interesting. They've been here longer than we have. Um, they've always been here. They're just a product of Earth. Like
Okay. Huh.
that's why they say each planet has its own
God, that's
kind of
cool.
fairies, because we're not really byproducts of evolution. We're byproducts of the planet itself.
So
Well, you
you
are
might be
too. So
like,
you are too, but it's more like they're trying to think of a way to.
can I say it's like you're a flower in that, you're just part of the earth and you're
Yes, she said just like that. You can leave your planet. We wouldn't. Um, Not that we can't. Well, why would we? Our purpose is here. To care for this planet and its health.
okay.
It's like we're the blood vessels in the body.
Oh,
And you're pathogens that can come and go out of it.
okay.
Day. So think of it.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that they explained that. We can come and go, but they're just part of the bloodstream of the
Yeah.
earth. Okay, interesting.
She's like, it sounds so creepy. We're the blood. We're the blood. Good. Like,
Earth blood.
oh my God, I'm getting my weed today. Sorry, thinking of blood, it made me remind me of I'm getting my weed because
Because
there was Jasmine was ordering, a vegan edible.
vegan
And it
weed.
was called vegan blood orange, but it would cut off and said vegan blood. And I was like, we're gonna get our vegan blood.
Well, I kind of considered asking that question. What should I do to grow the best weed? Which side of the house? This side or this side? The swing or
They're
the
so
trampoline?
excited. They're like, they have to think of the sunlight.
Right.
They're saying that they'll pay special attention to it because it's like medicine. And so
Wow.
medicine.
Okay.
Um, which side? The one that gets the most sunlight. Um, I know what your backyard looks like.
Yeah, the swing side or the trampoline side?
More the trampoline side. That one gets more sunlight because
Okay.
they're talking about how that one's more shaded on the other side.
Okay, everybody, save your random seeds for me. What do you think of weed then? Do you guys like the humans to use it? Because that's what I use to tap in. You know what? Remember when Magenta was talking about plugging in the USB cable? That's what that is. Weed is my USB cable. So last night in my insomnia, I got super
Really?
stoned at like 2 o'clock in the morning and went out and sat in my grass and invited them to come. And I don't get images. I don't get words. What I get is the heart chakra squeeze and the tears. That's all. As sensitive as I am, that's all I get is just crying. But I don't know. What's your theories on that and helping people open up? Do you feel like you're more able to connect with a human when they're high?
Sometimes. Just depends on the person because everyone responds differently to it.
True.
Um, Stop. Lily's teasing me.
I want to know. What'd she say?
Hold on. But Lily was saying it can help. The
Uh-huh.
weed can help. It's medicinal. It can help. That's all she's saying in regards to that. She's making fun of me. She's saying with weed, I disconnect for me.
You do?
Yeah. Because I'm relaxed because I'm so full of anxiety and I'm feeling so much energy all at once. Weed to me, because that's the intent I put into it, is to completely shut down and relax and be without anxiety, without feeling anything. So I
That's
need
me
that.
too.
I need that sometimes because it's just too fucking much. Everyone's too much. Y'all doing too much sometimes. And I'm like, I can feel it. And I'm like, I need to get high. You guys
Yeah,
are
that's
fucking
me.
up.
It's not about getting high, really. It's really about coming down and grounding for
Yeah.
me. It's letting go of all the crazy
It's not
shit
even
and just
about
breathing.
grounding for me.
Mhm.
Because it feels very ungrounding to me because I'm not
It's
connected
funny.
to
Uh-huh.
earth. It's just completely just like being in a limbo state. And I love it.
Mhm.
Makes me want to get high.
I'm ready.
But
That's
yeah.
interesting that it's different for just you and I like that. Huh.
But ecstasy is what makes me connect to earth a lot. That's what Lily was teasing me about. She's like, not weed, but
Ah.
I know something else that does, you know.
See, I'm an ecstasy virgin still. Somebody's
I
gonna.
was too. It was the first time I ever did it.
Oh no, I'm really
It was
pissed
during
off.
quarantine.
I'm,
I
I'm
mean,
irritated with you.
sorry. I mean, what the fuck else we're gonna be doing? Fucking everyone's laid off, you know, and
Right. I want my piece of that ecstasy pie. Very jealous of you.
and what's so funny is the guy we get it from, he's like getting his doctorate degree in psychology, and he's specifically doing his thesis and wants to study how psychedelics can help with mental illness. So like he sells us psychedelic drugs. While
Right.
he's like, your money helps me pay for my books, my tuition. I'm like, I'm glad to
So
help your
funny.
education, dude.
Right. I'm just helping. Just
I'm
being
just
a good
I'm just
citizen.
helping.
I'm
And I
part
love
of the
how like
solution.
I love how he's not your typical dealer because you think like some kid who has no job just stays at home or whatever. No, this kid's like getting his doctorate degree. Like he's in it.
That's so funny.
He's so different than I love people who just are anomalies. I love it.
I do too. The outliers we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. I
He's
feel like an outlier too, because I just feel like I represent such normalcy, my little picket fence life, but I'm fucking out there. I have an alien baby. That's an outlier.
my God, I have not spoken to Sam really since everything because I'm going through my own little world and he understands that. But yeah, just barely talking to him. But your white picket fence, that reminds me, we have these neighbors that moved in next door and they've been remodeling the house like crazy. Um, this I went to go say hi to them and we're la, la, la. Josh and I were complimenting her on her new black picket fence. She got a new like a whole new like painted the whole outside, got a new roof,
Black's the new color.
yeah. And she's like, yeah, I know. People are always talking about the white picket fence. She's like, no, I want a black picket fence. I'm like, I like that. I like
Another
it.
outlier.
Yeah, she's great. We're inviting her over from July 4th.
Oh, great. Bigger party.
It pissed off my sister. And I'm like, listen, you don't have to come over if you don't feel comfortable because of, the COVID thing. I'm not going to be upset or bent out of shape. But everyone else who's coming knows the risk and they're willing to accept it. So, and I'm like, and they already know everyone in this house has already had it. And there's like 10 of us that live here. So even if no one comes, we're still going to have a fucking party because there's like 10 of us.
Right. You got a built-in permanent party at your place.
Right. So I'm like, there's no way we can be 10 or less people. We're always going to have more than what's allowed in one space because that's how many people.
Rule breakers.
Yeah. So that was funny when they said that when they said it has to be 10 or less, I'm like, okay, one of us has to move out.
Do a lottery.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let me take some time to make it about me for a minute. Okay, so if I were gonna walk away from this and I wanted to know, I had my questions a couple minutes ago, but they always fall out of my brain. Okay, well, I want to be able to have a more concrete experience with you, whether I see you, feel you, hear you, talk to you, something. Which ways what are the things that I can do to make a connection more successful? I just want to talk to infinity.
Keep doing what you're doing. They're showing me you putting your feet in the mud, like in your dirt.
Okay.
They're saying that we have been communicating with you, so just accept how it is that you receive us, rather than trying to make something how you
okay. Don't have an expectation then.
Right. Kind of like They're saying that you want this perceived idea to happen. You
Right.
have an idea in your mind that that's what you're asking about. You want this
Okay.
specific thing. No, it has been happening. Just accept how it's been happening.
Okay.
That's how you feel us. You'll feel us in here. You're pointing at your head.
I sure did. I felt them last night. It was pretty strong too.
Oh, and record them. You can record them at night. It works better at night. And
Okay.
and you record, the lights and stuff.
Okay.
Invite them to come fly around.
All right, I'll do that.
And that's the same for anyone too.
Uh-huh. All right, we've gone through all of our questions and even our personal stuff. Do either Heather or Infinity or Lily or any of them do any of you have something to add? Heather needs a nap.
No, I don't need a nap. I'm fine.
Okay, I'm just boring you. Just kidding.
No.
Naps are awesome though. All right, fairy friend. Okay, no, I'll have one more question for them.
Yeah.
We speak about elementals, but I'm just putting just a few things. I don't know what else is there. Is it just like human made up words, or is there really more kinds of elementals that I'm also equally clueless about?
One of them said, well, all of them are made up human words. Everything.
I didn't mean words, but yes, you're right.
They're talking about the elves, gnomes, fairies.
What about like an ogre and a cyclops?
Yes, they said yes. Yes.
So how do you know? This is what, because I'm so doubtful. Like, I have to really take the filter out of my head. Like, let's go. I'm just going to be slightly controversial and go with the Bible, because some of it I don't resonate with. It's all garbage to me. So when I hear stuff about fairies or anything else, to me, it's like all fabricated. So I have to get that out of my head. So when in this folklore and mythology and whatever else, it had to have come from somewhere as like a nugget of truth, and somehow the fairy tale stories for me it became fake because they're fairy tales,
stories made up about us that are not true. But when you pluck that all back, at the core they all have something in common, and that's our personalities and how we behave.
Okay, that's true.
What we stand for, and that's what is real about us. And they're saying that they're still talking like the energy of when you were talking and saying like, what are they? Where are they at? It just feels more like energy. It's not like they do have physical bodies, but because they're in a different dimension, it's never going to be kind of solid that we are. So you're never going to see them like how I would see you.
Okay, that's so hard for us to understand.
Yeah. You would never see them physically like that. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me make a little bit more personal stuff about me. I just lost it again. Every time I want to ask it, it goes away. I don't know. Okay, well, I lost it again. Oh well, sorry, fairies. I just really wanted to make it personal, but I lost it. Okay, I guess we can wrap up then, because we've been going for I don't even know,
over an hour.
Really? Oh, okay. Okay, we do that sometimes. All right, so let's wrap this up. And do you have any announcements that you want to make?
Nope, just taking a break from channeling. So,
Okay.
That's
all right.
Nothing to promote.
The end.
The end.
Well, I'm still doing healing, so if anybody needs, some Mac Daddy fairy sparkles, that's my question. So because this is other people putting it on me, calling me fairy names and seeing me as a fairy in readings. Infinity, do you know why I have such a connection with fairies? Why? And because I do identify with that kind of vibration and energy myself. I feel like a pink rainbow sparkle girl.
Hold on. They're saying you've been a fairy before, and that's where you get a lot of your healing capabilities. And you've been a healer in other lifetimes too, as a human or as something non-human. But you, like we were talking about before, you have a fairiness in you, and some of it is stronger in some than in others. Everything about you is kind of encompasses what a fairy is in terms of the love and the pink and the frilly, but you're also like grounded at the same time. You're not too over the top. Like you found your grounding. They're saying.
Okay. Okay. So fairy girl named us well then. Fairy girl, not potato. It's too grounded.
Rock.
Rock. All right. I'm gonna set you all of you fairies and Heather free.
Okay. And I think I'm yawning because of the energy, not because I'm tired. Sometimes energy makes me yawn.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's interesting too. All right, sissy pants. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll talk to you soon, Kay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.